Hi there, folks. Sean Brodrick, Oxford Club. You know that I've been touring Nevada looking at the best mining companies. Well, I have one for you today. Comstock Mining. This is Corrado DeGasperis. He is the president and CEO of the company, and I just toured his facilities here, and it looks really cool. Corrado, could you tell my subscribers why they should take a good look at your company?
Well, the Comstock Lode was one of the most prolific geological districts in Nevada, producing almost 200 million ounces of silver and almost 8 million ounces of gold with picks and shovels in the late 1800s. More exciting for us is we've taken that 2.5 mile strike and we've extended it to be nearly 6 miles long. And with just a couple of years of real exploration under our belt, we validated over 3 million gold equivalent ounces.
Okay, and you guys are a producing miner now, and there's a new permit coming out that will let you increase your production a lot. Isn't that right?
Exactly. We're actually just off of celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Our first year plan was limited to 1 million tons and about 20,000 ounces. We're delivering on that plan. But to your point, we're one month away, just under 1 month away from getting that capacity expanded dramatically, and we would look to almost immediately double our production. So we're looking forward to robust growth. We're looking forward to robust cash flow. We've guided to doubling our ounces from 2013 to 2014.
Okay, now I've seen your plant there, and obviously it works really well. And if you're going to run twice as much rock through that plant, that's really going to drop your costs, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much is your all-in cost per ounce now, and how much do you think it'll actually go down to?
We are still effectively ramping up, but with that artificial limitation of 1 million tons per annum, we were operating at about $1,400 an ounce, which is not an end state for us. It's a ramp-up state, but literally not only doubling of the production off of that fixed cost base, but seeing a continuous and delightful, I would say, improvement in grade will reflect in those costs being about half. Like we're looking at, certainly less than $800 and potentially $700 an ounce.
Great. So you will go from a company that, I mean, as you say, you are ramping up, so it's not something you would look at to be set in stone, but you really weren't making money at recent gold prices. So suddenly you'll have a very healthy profit margin.
Yeah, exactly. We built the infrastructure literally be 4 times our current operating capacity. This will permit us to that level, and the first step will be to double the production capacity. So going from 20 to 40,000 is an intermediate objective. It gets us cash positive. It gets us, I believe, an outstanding cost profile. But ultimately, we've talked about 2 mines doing well over 100 up to 150,000 ounces per annum, and that's really the context of our next 2 to 3 years of growth.
Okay, now let's talk about the resource a little bit, because I had a nice long talk with your chief geologist, who was a whip smart guy, and he was explaining just how much of a resource is actually down there. I mean, really, the old miners really only scratch the surface. There's like more gold in like all directions, and also down deeper there's some really high grade stuff.
Yeah,
isn't that right?
Yeah. I mean, Larry Martin, who you're referring to, is whip smart, and he's a structural geologist. So he's absolutely delighted in taking 150 years worth of geological and production data and extending that structure multiple times and 2-3 times its length. We've hit on nearly, if not every hole that we've drilled since the step out, and I would say even we are still at a point where we're just scratching the surface. I think on average we've drilled to about 700 feet. I think we've drilled on certainly less than 10% of our surface position, but when you consider the depths of the geological structure, I think we're just scratching the surface. So to have validated over 3 million gold equivalent ounces on just a fraction of 2 of our 7 target areas bodes extremely well for the upside resource potential.
Okay, so they already have a working mine. They already have a nice resource. They have the potential for a much larger resource. They have the crack team in place to actually develop it. We could speak a little bit about your share structure. You obviously have some very good investors, deep-pocketed funds who are really helping you out there. But all in all, this is a company that I think is worth anybody should really look at it and see what they think, because I think it's really good. Is there anything?
No, I agree with that. I would only add that we haven't taken the most conventional approach to getting the Comstock lode back into production, but we've taken a very methodical approach. So we have a production scheme. We're about to double it. We have a large resource, but we're working. We worked very, very hard to build a capital base of keen investors who understand that potential. And so we do have some incredible names as a foundation, but I would say generally speaking, we're still not broadly known. We're still not famous in the context of junior mining, even though the Comstock lode was famous. Mm-hmm. So I think it is a very exciting opportunity. I wouldn't want to be in any other jurisdiction, and I think we are as well positioned as we could be for the growth in the next, not only immediate period, but the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay. Well, Nevada is a very interesting place for mining right now. This is a very interesting company, and I will be looking at it more closely. Thank you very much for speaking to my subscribers, and you folks, thanks very much for tuning in.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.